Hey, Dave.
Dave's not here.
Dave.
Dave's not here.
Oh, man. 420 News is next on Men Are So Smart, man. Welcome to another edition of Men Are So Smart. It's time for 420 News. Roll it. A Reading, Pennsylvania man, allegedly on his way to a drug deal, was arrested after he apparently got lost and asked Anderson police officers for directions.
That's awful.
Tell me more, Ronnie.
Chris Meng Lee, 40, was placed under arrest for possession of a firearm by a felon, carrying a concealed loaded firearm in a vehicle, possession of marijuana for sale, and driving without a valid driver's license.
The big four.
Yeah, that's the quadfecta, according to Anderson Police Department, posted on its Facebook page.
It should be noted that our officers are always willing to assist the motoring public with directions when they get lost. However, we would encourage the public not to illegally park their vehicles and approach our officers in their parked vehicles, especially while illegally possessing loaded firearms and drugs. I don't know.
You would think that would go without saying, but
yeah,
it doesn't.
But it's a gateway drug. Sorry. That's for you, Greg.
Anderson police arrested the Reading man after they found him in possession of a firearm and marijuana. The episode began when two officers stopped in their patrol car and saw a black BMW traveling eastbound towards them.
The BMW pulled to the right shoulder and parked directly in front of a fire hydrant and a red painted curb. You know, you can't get much more of a red flag than that.
Yeah.
The driver of the vehicle, later identified as Lee, got out and asked the officers for directions to a mobile home park near two streets that don't intersect.
There's a little something for you right there. The officers believed Lee's behavior was suspicious and asked him for consent to search his vehicle. He complied.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah, a search of the BMW, which Lee later told officers he got from a man in exchange for 6 pounds of marijuana.
He traded for a car.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Revealed a loaded semi-automatic handgun in the driver's door pocket and approximately 1.5 pounds of marijuana in the trunk.
Check this out, Officer Ron. Asked whether he sold marijuana, Lee said, "Oh, man, I dabble in it a little bit." Yeah, you're dabbling. According to a police report filed, police said Lee consented to a search of his cell phone. Yeah, since things are going so well for you.
Might as well.
Which revealed text messages that showed he was on his way to sell marijuana to a man and had apparently gotten lost.
Yeah, Anderson police said Lee has felony convictions for narcotics-related offenses, which prohibit him from possessing firearms or live ammunition. He was arrested and booked into the Shasta County Jail in lieu of $10,000 bail, which was raised to $100,000
just for stupidity, probably.
Yeah.
A stupidity clause.
Whew, dang.
All right, next up on 420 News. Police have arrested two brothers they say used a church as a front to sell marijuana in Roseville, California. That's where we broadcast.
That's right in our backyard.
The Roseville Police Department, who have a terrible reputation for being dickheads, sorry, Ron, arrested Zamrai and Karamula Popal, 36 and 27 years old, respectively, after raiding the Temple of Healing and Meditation, as well as the brothers' home in Gold River near Rancho Cordova, California. The church, which police described as nothing more than an illicit retailer of marijuana and concentrated marijuana products, those are your oils and stuff. In a media release distributed Tuesday, he has been targeted by the city of Roseville since its late October opening in a shopping center off of Interstate 8.
The city sent a cease and desist letter to the temple October 31st, according to the Roseville Press Tribune. 3 days later, attorney Christian Periano wrote back on the couple's behalf, arguing that federal law permitted the temple to distribute its sacrament to members of its congregation. The Popples have previously described their church as Christian Zen and claim marijuana consumption is an integral part of their prayer process.
This makes me think of a saying: you can put a diamond up a goat's butt, it's still a goat. Go on.
The Temple of Healing and Meditation's congregation boasts more than 300 members. They told the press enterprise, who makes donations to the church in exchange for marijuana. Donations.
Communion.
First of all, donations are not mandatory. When you're buying something, that's a little bit different.
That's the law?
Yeah.
Is that the long arm of the law, Ronnie?
That's where you break it down.
Roseville's municipal code bars commercial marijuana sales and growth within city limits. Police said the Temple of Healing and Meditation's facilities would not meet state standards for a legal dispensary, even in a laxer city, though they did not specify where the church fell short.
Also, a Rastafarian church marijuana garden caretaker was killed in a firefight with Yuba County Sheriff's deputies last summer. The church's leader was later arrested on charges related to marijuana growth and sales.
Wow.
In fact, it was him and his wife were operating this place.
It's dangerous, I tell you what. Next up on 420 News, sheriff advertised his car on Craigslist. Drug dealers made him quite an offer. The sheriff in Teller County, Colorado, had a vehicle to sell earlier this year, so he posted an ad for the car on Craigslist. Then, Sheriff Jason Mikesell making him an offer he probably wasn't expecting. 4 pounds of homegrown black market weed in exchange for the car.
Needless to say, 39-year-old Sean Langley of Vail, Colorado, didn't realize he was bidding on a sheriff's vehicle when he made the illegal offer, according to police. Langley even went so far as to send pictures of his homegrown product and boasted about its quality to the sheriff.
Then, on November 28th, around 7:30 in the evening, Langley and accomplice Jane Cravens, you know Jane, right?
Oh, yeah.
They went to Woodland Park in Colorado, where they had planned to swap the marijuana for the vehicle. But instead, the two alleged drug dealers were erased. They were erased. They were arrested by the Teller County Sheriff's Office and Metro Vice Narcotics Unit. Both Langley and Cravens were taken to the Teller County Jail, booked on narcotics charges.
Bottom line is, we don't want people saying they're trying to grow for medical purposes or licensed recreational uses, and instead they're shipping it out of state.
Authorities seized 4 pounds of marijuana.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, Ronnie, I swear.
I wonder if it was a BMW, maybe the guy from the first story.
Yeah, maybe there's a three-party change.
Yeah.
You know, I've been listening to a lot of talk radio lately when I'm not listening to music. I swear to God, every news station, every outlet, every talk show host, that's all they're talking about right now is legal marijuana in California.
Certainly, it's quite the hot topic.
First of all, it has to have a schedule change in order for the feds to allow for it to happen.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So my feeling is this. You can say it's legal all you want. You can say you voted for it or voted against it, whatever the case may be. But the voters have spoken. Now, here's the thing. It's all about whether the feds are going to enforce this or not. Because if the feds aren't going to enforce it, then certainly your state police are not going to be worried about it either. Now, you so much as said yourself that this is not something you're really going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about unless you pull somebody over and they open the window and it's like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Right. It's not legal. Even in California, if you're following the laws, it's not legal to smoke it in your car. It's not legal to go someplace and smoke. You have to do it in the privacy of your home. The biggest thing is they don't want people driving under the influence of marijuana. There hasn't been a lot of testing, I don't think, yet as to what effects it has on drivers. But until they really come up with that, they just don't want it to happen.
So let's say that Bob, our friend Bob, is driving around in a BMW.
Yeah.
And he has 1 ounce and he keeps it in his trunk. Now, he's pulled over, but there's a smell, and I'm asking for a friend. What happens to Bob?
Kind of depends on the officer, because some would just say, okay, I pulled you over for speeding.
Yeah, okay.
They'll write the speeding ticket and be on their way. Because it is kind of legalized, it's not something they're going to deal with.
Or Officer Ron can smell it.
But I can smell it, and I know it's there. And so perhaps if I'm a little bit more, I wouldn't say overzealous, but let's just say that I'm interested in kind of upping my play a little bit, I can ask him.
Do you have any drugs or ammunition? Or
do you have anything illegal in your car? Maybe like marijuana, which I'm smelling.
It's a gateway drug.
It is a gateway drug.
Sorry, Greg.
State law will allow you to call a narcotics canine out to do a quick sniff of the vehicle, even though that's completely unnecessary because I can smell it as well as the dog can in that situation. But once the dog alerts on it, gives you a little bit more leeway in then opening up the trunk and, furthering your search. Again, it depends how concerned that officer is with writing another ticket or take him to jail.
But he's allowed an ounce.
An ounce, yeah, is fine. But then if you find scales...
But if you smell it, you don't know it's just an ounce.
Exactly. Yeah, in fact, very likely if you smell it, it's more than an ounce. For whatever reason, I smell marijuana very readily, but an ounce, I'm not sure I'd be able to smell, because typically it would be in a baggie.
Well, it's everywhere. It's everywhere you turn.
It's absolutely everywhere.
I was on a radio program the other night where we had Sacramento's new weed czar. Yeah, the guy that's actually, this is true, he's been appointed by council to head up the program for recreational use of marijuana / medicinal in Sacramento. And one of the things I said to him right point blank on the air is, you're not ready for this.
No.
Sacramento, again, where we broadcast from here in California, we're not ready. In fact, it was supposed to go green on January 1, which was a holiday. So what this czar was telling us was these people did not have the permits to be able to sell it in time.
Yeah.
So even though it was supposed to be legal on January the 1st, no one's ready for it.
No.
What kind of crap is that? I'm just saying that is not good business sense. It's not good counsel sense.
Well, and it would be different if there weren't already several states that are where it's already legal.
Right.
So you could absolutely send people there.
And use it as a template, you would think.
Exactly. It would be pretty simple, I would think. Mm-hmm. Hey, whatever Colorado's doing, let's just do that. Seems to be working. Somewhere along the line, they dropped the bong. So...
All right. We're going to end on that note, Ronnie. All right. So there you go. Some feelings on 420 News. Wrap it up. We will see you on the next Men Are So Smart. Until then, feel free to browse from over 180 episodes of our show on our YouTube page. It's really simple to find. Just go to YouTube, in the search bar, type in Men Are So Smart. You'll see that Gallagher Entertainment Network comes up, and you'll see all of the shows. And also, I wanted to give a plug. Gallagher Entertainment Network wants to be your one-stop entertainment place, okay? So we are adding a new show to our stable, and it will be called Green Room Diaries. It's a show that's going to be hosted by a friend of mine named Tom McLean, who's a stand-up comedian, and he's going to take us behind the scenes of what stand-up comedians go through before, during, and after their sets.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, comedians. We're going to meet all kinds of different comedians, from extremely popular to ones you've never even heard of before, who are just making their way. And it's called Green Room Diaries. Look for it right here on the Gallagher Entertainment Network. Until the next time, I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
We'll see you on Men Are So Smart.
Bye-bye.